Assalamualaikum. Today we will present about cell presentation of Sony. Before we start, I would like to introduce my team member, which is Muhammad Aidil AMIN, Muhammad EHSAN, Muhammad AFFAN, and me myself, SAKHAWI. A company that inspire and fulfill your curiosity, using our unlimited passion for technology, content, and service to deliver groundbreaking new excitement and entertainment as only Sony can. This is Sony vision and mission. Assalamualaikum. My name is SAKHAWI, your presenter for today. Sony Group Corporation, which also known as Sony, is a Japanese multinational corporation founded on 7 May 1946 in Minato, Tokyo by Masaru Ibuka and Akio Morita. It is a prominent technology firm and one of the world leading manufacturer of consumer and professional electronic equipment, and it also a largest manufacturer and publisher of game console. Through Sony Entertainment Incorporation, it is one of major music corporation, largest music publisher and second largest record label, and the third largest movie studio, making it one of the most complete media companies. It is a Japanese largest technology and media corporation. Sony also renewed as a Japan most cash-rich firm with net cash reserve of 2 trillion yen. Moving to timeline, Masaru Ibuka founded Sony on 7 May 1946 as a shop that repaired a radio. The following year, Akio Morita joined him and they established Tokyo Toshin Kagyu. Next, in 1950, the Type G, a very first tape recorded in Japan, was created by the company. A year after that, the company released the first tape recorded that with features of consumer use, which is known as Type H. Following it, their first biggest achievement in American consumer market, the company changed its name to Sony in 1958. Because of people outside of Japan found that the former name difficult to pronounce, in 1960, Akio Morita established Sony Corporation of America, and today known as Sonam, and located in New York City, to administer the company US-based operation. Next, following Masaru Ibuka's objective to have an ideal factory that emphasizes the spirit of freedom and open-minded and contribute to Japanese culture through technology, Sony produced many innovation products such as Betamax, Walkman, the compact disc, which is also known as CD, Discman, and many other things. In November 1993, Sony Interactive Entertainment SCE established. The company was founded in Tokyo. It oversees the PlayStation consoles line, which arose from the familiar relationship with Nintendo. Then, a year after the original PlayStation was released by Sony Computer Entertainment, Sony Computer Entertainment developed and distributed the PlayStation, a video game console for home, with the total number of units sold was 102.49 million. Following with that, Sony extended the product line to launch a PlayStation 2, 3, and 4, which also biggest hit at their time. In 2008, Sony purchased a business stake in the company and established this new Sony Music Entertainment. 2009, Sony created a make-believe face in effort to promote a cooperation among business groups and offer a consistent brand for its global operation. In 2020, Sony newest product line extension, which is PlayStation 5, has been released.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer Dr. Noraini. For today's presentations, I will explain on the Sony target market. The business-to-business target market of Sony is the PlayStation Direct Retail Store, which Sony refer to as it is a direct hardware distribution channel. It's another area of expansion. The company anticipated the store net sale which reached over $200 million during the most recent fiscal year, will triple over the coming 12 months. Currently, only the US has access to that store, but over the course of the next 12 months, it will also be made available in the UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Ireland, and Belgium. The second target mobile phone store. The second target is mobile phone store. Sony has released a mobile phone, which is Sony Xperia. In the same time, Sony also released Sony Walkman. So both will share the same target market because these two products tend to mobile phone store. The Sony Xperia smartphone has been positioned by Sony as a practical and portable solution with a wealth of features to offer its user, as well as a product that is likely to last and is consistent with the astounding standard that is associated with the Sony brand. Sony is well-known brand among the consumer as a leader in quality, affordability, and product longevity. So it is certain that many phone shops will make Sony Xperia as a product capable of generating profit.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aidil AMIN bin Muhammad Rosdi, and I will present the next part, which is positioning. Sony Corporation has established a solid foundation and corporate image in the mobile communication, gaming, and product imaging division through the years. Before entering the consumer markets, Sony focused on B2B service, which is selling electronic to business. And when it's come to music-related electronic and gadgets, Sony is the first name that customer thinks of. Sony Corporation implemented some positioning methods. Firstly, they implement category-based positioning. Sony has become one of the most high-tech company suppliers, offering a wide range of product lines such as video games, microcassettes, cameras, smartphone, and e-products that cater to consumer current interest and preference. Second, which is consumer-based positioning. Sony offers to all age of consumer and preference because it's offer various range of product lines. Next, Sony also specifically targets consumer who are tech savvy or have a strong interest in electronic and gadgets. It also targets those who are curious and want to try new experience in using new gadgets and electronic use. Thirdly, Sony used competitor-based positioning. Sony Corporation used differentiation technique as it's their generic strategy for competitive advantage. Differentiation techniques involve products that have some uniqueness in making comparison to other brands or products in the market. In this positioning, it also includes marketing mix that refers to 4Ps, which is product, place, promotion, and also price. For Sony marketing mix that refer to 4Ps, firstly for product, Sony Corporation has various product mix that consists in product and also service. Sony has various products in electronics, entertainment, gaming console, and financial service. However, Sony use a different categories of various products. Second, for place, a distribution channel is one of the key elements and it brings advantage to Sony in their marketing mix. Sony employs a variety of places for delivering their product to target customer. For example, Sony places their product and service in Sony Store, authorized vendor business, theaters, media networks, and also official websites. Sony maintains a variety of locations in this component of the marketing mix in order to successfully distribute its product and have a wider market research. Third is price. Sony is well known for their high quality items. However, these products are often sold at quite expensive costs. Sony pricing techniques includes premium pricing, market-oriented pricing, and value-based pricing. The premium pricing strategy entails high price. Sony products are often more expensive than the market norms. The highest pricing fosters a premium brand image, which is consistent with the company differentiated generic strategy. On the other hand, Sony use market-oriented pricing for some their product to ensure their competitiveness based on the price of competing product. For last piece, which is promotion, Sony advertise its product in a variety of methods. Sony promotion includes advertising, public relation, direct marketing, sales promotion, and also personal selling. In Sony business, advertising is the most important element in marketing. Sony Corporation promotes their product through the internet and print media. Furthermore, public relations are being used to raise and appear their brand recognition and improve Sony business image. For example, Sony used to sponsor many sporting events, music festival, and other gathering. Not only that, but personal selling has also been used by Sony store employees to persuade target client to buy the company items or products.
So now I will continue to explain about 6 stages of selling process by Sony. The first step is prospecting for customer. Among the prospect for Sony are cyber cafe. Sony can promote to them about the quality of Sony product. Cyber cafe is one of the potential customer to buy a product from Sony, which is PlayStation 5. Nowadays, many people feel bored of going to cyber cafe because they have their own PC at home. So they do not have to waste time to going there. This is time for Sony to help the cyber cafe to generate profit. They can rent out PlayStation to customer. We all know that buying a PlayStation 5 need a lot of money. So cyber cafe can fulfill the needs of customer who want to play the PlayStation by buying product from Sony. For the second step, which are opening the relationship. The sales representative will be attempting to establish the relationship with the potential customer, which is cyber cafe, by doing 2 things. To quality a prospect as a value potential client, Sony must ascertain who within the organization is most likely to have the most influence or authority to start the buying process and who will finally acquire the product. Sony must also develop significant interest within the organization. Next step is qualifying the prospect. The Sony salesperson will research the prospect operation, product category, client, competitor, and the possibility of future product demand to reply to these inquiries. Finding out who the customer present supplier are and whether they have any ties to them that would make switching provider difficult are also crucial. Sony should also look at the prospective customer credit history and financial situation. So that's all from me. I will hand over this presentation to AFFAN to explain the next step. Thank you very much.
Next is stage 4, one of the important steps in sales process, which is sales presentation. Salesmen will try to convince their potential customer to become their customer and even a loyal customer by giving a message about the product as the purpose. An interesting presentation is needed as a career in sales job. To prepare for effective sales presentation, Sony need to understand that their target customer is another business. So the presentation must suit to the target customer. The presentation cannot be the same as presentation to individual customer. And Sony must mention on how their target customer, the business, can gain a profit by buying a Sony product. Stage 5 is closing the sales, which means the final agreement is being reached between sales team and the prospect. The sales team must put urgency to the prospect in closing the deals in order to secure the deal and to avoid the prospect to cancel the deal. Sony can simplify the way of ordering their product by businesses in order to reach the sales closing stage. This is because many businesses cannot handle with the many hierarchy of buying the product because it consumes too much time and cost. To solve this problem, it is a must for Sony to make it easier for the prospect. Last stage is serving the account refer to the account sales service. Servicing the account is needed to ensure that the customer become loyal customer and to build a positive relationship between businesses. Sony can provide some other service after sales such as training. Sony can conduct a training session to their client employees in order to handling the Sony product. As example, Sony can train the entertainment company employees on how to operate Sony PlayStation 5 so that they will become master the function of PlayStation 5. Besides, Sony can provide a maintenance service to their customer to ensure that their loyalty to Sony will be increased.
Sony faced many problems in their operation business and organization, and this has caused many impact that lead to Sony decline. This problem gives Sony challenges and rise several risks and issues that can impact their reputation in the market. First, Sony experienced problem with the production of PlayStation 5, which is PS5 product, in 2020 because at that time most of the business operation in the world experienced problem in terms of product and delivery. This situation gave a big impact to Sony distributors because they had to take a long time to wait for the PS5 to reach to their authorized sellers. Second problem and issue is Sony experienced a problem with the processing of their laptop product, which is Sony Vaio laptop. Most of their authorized sellers who were valid at that time received many complaints about this Sony Vaio laptop from customers. Regarding the Sony Vaio laptop issues, most authorized sellers also received a lot of complaints about the battery draining quickly when it used. The last issue is Sony has also stopped selling their smartphone product in Malaysia at the end of 2019. Most of authorized sellers in Malaysia had to remove Sony brand product from their sale product. This situation caused the distributor channel of Sony in Malaysia to stop, indirectly reducing the market share in the declining market, and at the same time showing that Sony is no longer able to compete with other brands in the Malaysian market. Thank you.
In conclusion, Sony consumer lifestyle is mostly that they are tech savvy or have an interest in gadget. Sony must establish who inside the organization that have most influence or power to influence the purchasing process, and who will ultimately acquire the goods. Sony is still a company that faces an issue and problem. There are many ways to find problem solution. For example, making analysis about how their competitor face a similar problem. As a result of the stage of the selling process, Sony target customer include early adopters, families, young, professional and affluent customers.